What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Dragon's Dogma yet again. And I'm recording this right after the previews go up. I'm sure this video will go up, maybe a day or two later. But I just want to talk about the game, one more time before I guess we start to get to review scores and other things that I'm sure will happen right before the game comes out. But man, oh man, those previews were really, really good. And I wrote over here on my notebook talking about can this game be a game of the year kind of contender, right? That was going to be the central point of this video. Kind of wanted to blend it in with the previews. To be honest with you, the previews back up my assumption that the game is going to be really good. I think, obviously as we get closer to any game, at least for me, I tend to get pretty excited, right? The closer we get. But for this game, you can kind of sense it. It's been a long time since the first game. I think everybody that played it or knew at least a little bit about it kind of, could either recognize or experience, right, just how good that game is. And you kind of knew, there's another step. And everything that we've seen so far from Dragon's Dogma 2 has looked like, yeah, they absolutely took that step. In the video where I said, why I'm getting this game, we went through kind of all the reasons, all of the positives, all of the things that really I think is going to make this game special, right? The pawn system kind of being not necessarily overhauled, but just extra stuff too. The pawn system was already really cool, and now you're going to be relying on these AI more than ever in terms of the map and the exploration, and it just feels like it's everything that we got from the first game plus some, and just everything feels a little bit better. So again, going into this video, I was thinking this really can be, and this has been a great year. I'm not done with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but that is a phenomenal game. I'm 25 hours in right now. You had Infinite Wealth. You've had Persona 3. There's been Helldivers 2. The list actually can keep going. It's been a really, really strong, there's been some bad ones, but it's been a really strong first couple months. But I think you could have said this back in December leading into the year. I think you can say it now. I think you can probably say it next week as well. This has a real shot of being, the best game in March, the best game of the year. It really should be, I think, a game of the year contender. That is the bar I think a lot of us have set for it. And again, now bringing in recent news, I didn't plan it this way. It kind of just all happened, right? So people got to play it. The press got to play it. And I haven't really watched too much new, gameplay of it. I'm kind of done, to be honest with you. If there's the demo that gets announced, I'll play that. But I don't really need to see any more. I'm already sold on it. You know what I mean? So just seeing more might take away a little bit from it. But I did read a couple kind of excerpts of, what people are writing. And the game sounds like a game of the year contender. Some of these sites are literally writing that the game feels like a game of the year contender, and they're the ones that played it. Now, far be it from me to put any kind of trust into these gaming press outlets, okay? I very much don't trust their opinion generally, but again, you can't argue with greatness. You can't argue with what we've already seen of this game. And honestly, no, they all have opinions. They're all human beings, right? So hearing their thoughts on it, everybody that I saw came away extremely positive. You know what I mean? So is it possible that they're wrong? Yeah. And is it possible you might have a different experience playing the game versus them? I imagine so, considering we're all different. But I do think there's a little bit of weight there where it's hey, if everybody's saying that this is an amazing game, and some of these previews were it's shockingly good. They thought it was going to be good, and it was shockingly better than they thought, right? When you hear that, come on, it's not that hard, I think, to get even more excited. So I really have a lot of confidence that we're going to be saying after the 22nd that this is a contender. And again, the games I mentioned, I think that's a pretty solid list, at least to start. We still have more months, and I think something like a Hellblade 2 probably, appears on the list maybe by the end of the year. There's a couple of games that may or may not, I suppose, right? But so far, Persona 3 has done really well, and I haven't played it yet. But I love the Persona franchise, and I imagine from what I've seen of 3, it's good. But I did play, Infinite Wealth, Helldivers 2. I think those are top games, and I think those would be considered. Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden is a personal favorite of mine. Dragon's Dogma 2. I think Dragon's Dogma 2 immediately should enter the list of, hey, this is one of the better games of the year. If not, hey, this is the game to beat. And then now Stellar Blade has to beat it, Hellblade has to beat it, etc., right? So just gets me more excited. And then, we still might have the demo coming, which I think that would be it. After the demo, it's let's see the review scores, and then we're ready to play this game. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.